So today we're going to be adding and subtracting integers. So it means we're going to be looking at positive and negative numbers. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to look at it using a model. So integers are positive or negative whole numbers. They can be represented with models and counters in number lines. So what we're going to do is we're going to sketch the value with counters using 4 counters to show the number 4. So we can have 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we need to show 6 counters to show the number 0. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 3 positives, and then I'm going to have 3 negatives, because when you have a positive and negative together, they zero out. So this equals 0. Then I'm going to have 7 counters to show -1. So I'm going to do this again. So I'm going to, here, hold on, let me lock my back screen. So I'm going to have these 6 counters that I used in problem number 2, but I'm also going to add an additional negative. So that's 6 counters, so that's 0. Then I add one more negative, and that'll be a -1. Okay, so write an equation to represent the value of the model, and then the model, the given equation. So here, this is saying -4 plus +3. And so these cancel out. So it means you're left with -1. This is -2 plus 6. So these cancel out to +4. This is -3 plus 6. So these cancel out, equals a +3. So if I just did these without a model, there'd be -3 plus 4. So it'd be a +1 left over, because I would take -3 from here, and these would cancel out, or +3 from here, and these will cancel out. Another way that someone has told me that helps in the past, and we can talk about this tomorrow as well when we continue on with this. So we can look at this as a scoreboard. So let's say you have a negative team and then a positive team. So you have 3 negatives here, and then you have 4 positives here. What difference is their score? Who's winning? By how much? So the positive are winning by 1 point, because this has 3 points and the positives have 4 points. So they're winning by 1. Okay, so this one would be 3 plus -4. So this would be a -1. And again, if I do my teams, I will have 4 negatives and 3 positives. So which team is winning? Well, the negative team is winning. So that means your answer is going to be a negative, and they're winning by 1 point. So you have a -1. So then now I have a -3 plus -4. Well, so let me look at my teams again, and I switched that. Sorry, guys. So I have negative and then my positive team. So I have a -3 here and then a -4. So the positive have 0 numbers. So it means negative scored 3 points and another 4 points. So you have to add them together, figure out how many points they scored in total. So 3 plus 4 is 7. But since they're negative, that'll be a -7 points. So we can do it like that, or we can actually do it with a number line. So a number line here says you're at -1. So you're -1 and you add 4. So you can go 1, 2, 3, 4. So you end up with +3. Here it says I'm at +1, but I'm adding -4 points. So you have to go to the left for negative. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and this will be -3. Here it says I'm at -1, and I'm adding -4 points. So you can go 1, 2, 3, 4. So that'd be -5. And then here I'm at +1, and I'm adding +4. So you end up at positive 5. So add the following integers. You can use any way you want to do it. So if you want to draw counters, if you want to do a number line, if you want to do way with a scoreboard, go for it. If you want to pause your video, then then I'll write down the answer so you can check yourself. That'd be a great idea. This will be -3, -3, -10, 7, 2, -2, -11, -2. Oops, sorry, I misread this. I thought that was an 8. This is 0. Apologize, guys. A little blurry. Yep. Okay. Sorry, I was going back over to make sure I didn't make another mistake. Okay, so now this is subtracting integers, and we can look at it the same way. So we're not going to do the models again because I'm going to show you a very cool technique. So we have -4 minus -2. When you minus a negative, so let me show this, make this a little bit bigger. So you have -4 minus -2. So when you minus a negative, it actually becomes a positive, because when you take away a negative, it's like 2 wrongs make a right. So now all you're doing is -4 plus 2, which is just like adding. So this will just equal -2. So look at that again. So we have -6 minus -3. So this just makes to a plus. So that's -6 plus +3, which will be -3. All right. You can also see it on a number line. So like, let's say here I'm at 1 and I'm minusing 4 points. So we're going to go backwards 1, 2, 3, 4. So that'd be -3. Another way you can look at this is, so you can circle the 1 and then you can circle the minus 4, which is be a -4. And you can do a little scoreboard of the negative team and the positive team. So they have -4 points and then they have +1 point over here. So it's a difference of 3, but since they're greater by -3 points. So you have -1 and you take away 4 points. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have -5. If I was doing my little scoreboard, you have a negative team and then the positive team. So they have -1 and then they scored an additional -4 more points, or a -4 points. So that means that they score an additional of -5 points. Here, you have -1 minus -4. So that means that it's going to be -1 plus 4. So if you did a little scoreboard, that'd be minus, plus. So this will be -1 over here and +4 over here. And the difference between these is 3. So there's 3 more positive points than negative points. So number 10 will be a little scoreboard, will be the -5 points over here and then 3 points over here. So the difference between these is 2, and then it's by -2 points. So negative team is winning by 2 points. This one is saying 3 minus -5, so that'd be just 3 plus 5, because this forms a positive, which is just 8 points. Then this would be -3 plus 5, which we already know is -2. Excuse me, not -2, +2. And if I could switch the slides, we'll move on. Oh, that's actually it. This can be really confusing with all the negatives and stuff. So if you need help, just let me know. Also, I would consider thinking like money if the other ways don't help you. That's it. Thank you, guys.